Hi, I'm James McGuire, and I'm here with Rajesh Ganesan, Chief Executive Officer of ManageEngine. Rajesh, really good to have you with us today. Thanks for talking with us.
Thank you, James. Thanks for having me with you today.
Yeah. There's a lot of interesting things we can talk about. For example, artificial intelligence and enterprise software. That's a big story.
Right.
Hiring, what's going on with hiring these days? I know you've had some interesting ideas about that. Before that, though, I'd like to get your overall sense of where are we with enterprise IT these days? There's so much going on. It's so disruptive. Artificial intelligence changes quarterly, monthly, daily. You spent 20 years, building and managing enterprise software. Where do you think we are right here today?
Right. Interesting question.
Yeah.
That we ask ourselves all the time because we are a company that has stayed relevant for more than 2 decades now, serving the enterprise IT teams, the CIOs, organization, so to say. There is only one constant in the world of technology, which is you have to expect disruptions to happen.
Yes.
We are going through one more wave of disruption. So the world of technology navigated many in the last 20 years. So now we are in the age of AI.
Right.
So we have to accept. And the topmost challenge, which actually puts the CIO's organization, the IT teams, in much high in their value chain than ever they have been.
Right.
Which is address challenges like cybersecurity, privacy, data protection, compliance. So when we talk about AI, we talk about the technology having been arrived already. It is being used. It's very helpful.
Sure.
It is delivering value, solving real problems for businesses. But at the same time, AI applied in the context of business does need a lot of guardrails.
Yes.
We need to have some regulations, of course, and depending on the region that you operate in, compliance becomes a very, very important challenge. And that is where IT teams are going to be playing a very, very crucial role.
The guardrails.
The guardrails,
Yeah.
and having a system where you still will adopt AI, you have to let your workforce leverage AI, at the same time not make any compromise when it comes to cybersecurity, data protection, compliance, and all of these things. It is a fine balance, and without this balance, the leverage of AI will not be truly realized.
Right.
And this is the function, the technology function, the IT function of what we had for a long time. Their role is transforming into delivering all this, right? So
it's a big role.
It's a big role now,
Yeah.
getting more strategic. Because AI, one is adoption of AI for internal use, and at the hands of adversaries, AI puts in a lot of power now, right? So your attackers are going to use AI a lot more. How do you counter that, right? So it's not only controlling the use of AI, it is also like understanding where all can that be used, where all could that be sufficiently be deployed, and that role gets very important and strategic, more and more.
What about the experts who would say, well, artificial intelligence is changing enterprise software in terms of someone could sit down and vibe code these big applications, and so maybe we don't need the big application providers anymore because we're just going to sit down, like, Joe work on it over the weekend. He's going to come in and he's going to have something, HR thing built on Monday. So what do we need the big software companies for anymore? You see that? Is that a threat to ManageEngine? Is that an opportunity, or how do you feel about that?
I see the point
Yeah.
where people get excited.
Right.
As a techie myself who had done a lot of programming,
Yes.
I am excited myself too.
Sure.
But at the same time, I understand what it takes to build an enterprise software application, right? So it isn't as trivial yet.
You don't think Joe could do it over the weekend necessarily?
Weekend, you get the 0.001 version.
Yeah, okay.
But for it to really deliver value,
Okay.
it takes more than a weekend, right?
Yeah.
Even with vibe coding, even with the most powerful models.
Sure.
It takes more than that. It's all about architecting, right? It was never only about the code that was generated, how much deep understanding you had about the domain, about the problem that you are solving, the best way to architect. And it's not just about hundreds of features that you vibe code over the weekend, right? It's about how the system scales gracefully, how does it distribute?
User feedback.
Right? How intuitive that is, all of that, right? So there's a lot to a business software, enterprise software application than just a bunch of features.
Yes.
So vibe coding does help, right? It does make the programmers extremely productive, but it's also like getting too excited to expect
Yeah.
to vibe code an enterprise application in a weekend, right?
Right.
So that is a lot of stretch in my book.
Right, especially when there's hundreds of thousands of dollars or more at stake.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, also let's face this situation. Even with 10, 20 applications for the customers to go and choose, right? So do the evaluation.
Right.
It's not easy. But now when you talk about vibe coding an application over a weekend, you're going to have hundreds of applications inside one organization.
Sure.
There's like hundreds of thousands to choose from. So even with AI models, we are already at the point of having to choose between the best AI model.
Right.
And then we go ask AI, right? So suggest me the best model. The model says, I'm the best model, right?
Sure.
And the week after, new model comes, says, I beat the previous model in all benchmarks, right?
Right.
So who is going to make the decision of
Yeah.
using what model to build which application?
Yeah.
So it's going to be a very interesting situation, but knowing what it takes to build an enterprise software application, to maintain it, to make it derive or deliver value, it's going to take more than vibe coding over a weekend. It's going to take a lot more of domain expertise, deep thinkers, problem solvers, architects, designers, all coming together. That's not going to go away.
Well, what about the idea of responsible AI? And I think it's, consumers want it, companies want it. The companies want it for compliance and governance issues. They
Right.
really need it.
Right.
Consumers want it because sometimes they think they're being taken advantage of. They don't understand what's going on.
Right.
What's your take on responsible AI, and how it can really happen in the real world? Is the
Right.
question.
I mean, it's a very important point to think about, talk about, discuss about. I'll talk about it in two aspects.
Yes.
What do we mean by responsible AI?
Please.
So one is the AI system, the AI model that we use should be able to make users productive, should be able to do a lot of work for them in a way where it is very transparent, where AI is able to prove the accuracy. AI is also able to explain
Yes.
why it did what it did,
Right.
right? These are important aspects. It's not like, it shouldn't be a black box. It shouldn't act like a magician, like producing tricks.
Right.
It should be a true colleague at work who's like extremely smart, extremely productive at the same time.
And
Equally
transparent. as you said.
transparent.
Yeah.
It's accountable. It's telling you what it is doing, where it knows it is doing a very sensitive operation. It passes for some authorization. This is what we call as responsible AI. So the transparency is important, accountability is important. So all of these. But beyond all this, we can only make AI so far responsible. Fundamentally, the business should be responsible with their practices, with their ethics,
Yes.
with how they define their business models, serving their customers, right? So this is the most fundamental, James.
It's up to the company more than the AI, obviously,
Exactly.
of course.
In my belief, if your company is ethical, if your business model is ethical, it is not just AI. In anything that you do, you will see things being responsible, things being accountable.
Yep.
So to give you an example, there are many companies here today, the whole business model is about making their customers as the product, right? So
Sure.
typically offer products and services for free, but the hidden terms and conditions would be about selling customers' private data.
Yep.
And if that is going to be your business model, this is going to be the channel through which you will be generating revenues. It doesn't matter you make the AI responsible, right?
Yeah.
You will eventually be doing things that your customers don't want or they don't prefer.
Right.
So these are the two aspects. So one is first get your business model right.
Right.
Have the ethics built in, and then when you apply it to the AI that you use, make sure you make them responsible, they make them transparent, accountable, all of that.
Right. Okay. Well, I mean, leaving AI for a moment, the idea of barriers in companies, and I think it's a real problem because sometimes the IT team doesn't talk to the management team and vice versa. I mean, we do need divisions.
Right.
On the other hand, divisions get in our way. So how do you, as a leader, work around that in the real world, in like actual practicality?
Right. I mean, let's face it. People have passion. People have affinity in the work that they do.
Sure. We hope so.
Yeah. I mean, more than hope. I've seen enough where
Yes.
people care about the work that they do. they have their own perspective, the vantage point that they see things from. This is often the situation where conflicts arises, right? So it's the same thing. They're working for a common goal, common cause, but a completely different perspective, right? So the technology team will come with a completely different perspective compared to a customer-facing business team or an administration or a legal team, right? So whose job is to interpret complex laws and like give advice to these two teams, right? This happens all the time that I see within our company, within a lot of our customers, the conversation. The possibilities of what technology can offer, it's often very exciting. We talk about AI,
yes,
but there's also often a lot of roadblocks that are brought in by typically the legal teams who are worried about, matters like regulations, compliance matters.
Sure.
Right? So, and you cannot all be excited all the time and throw every caution out of the window and like, right? So, I think the job of the leadership here is to bring the balance, not take any one side. Right? So, let them, this point that everybody cares for the business, for the result, for the customers, and we are working for the common cause, and where you strike the right balance is key, right? And this sitting with the teams, understanding and explaining it to them, right? So explaining when they are not able to talk to each other,
right?
Making sure they speak the common language, and this is something like personally I'm learning myself. When I speak to different functions, they all tend to use a language.
Their own
very
language.
Specific functions, right? It's talk to a techie.
Yes.
They talk almost like they are writing some programming language.
I've experienced
the words they use are all like variable names, and the acronyms they use are very geek language, right? And let them speak to someone in sales or someone in marketing, for them to even get to a common point of what language they speak is often very hard.
Interesting.
And this becomes the job of the leaders to bridge this. I don't mean like language gap in the typical spoken language.
Sure.
It is even the way people think.
Right. What's important?
When you are an architect, when you are a techie, the way you think is always about the system that you are building, right? Whereas a salesperson is talking about closing the deal tomorrow.
Sure.
Whereas someone from customer support is
and those are both important things.
Absolutely. Both are important. That's my point, right? How do you make that person understand the other three functions are equally important, and we are all working for the common cause, right? So,
yeah. That's a terrific question. Then it's also about having the right personnel, and I know you've got interesting thoughts about hiring. You believe that companies shouldn't hire only from the major tech hubs. It's almost a counterintuitive belief. Why do you think it's important?
We have a strong belief about the people that we have. At the end of the day, the belief is very simple. The company is nothing but its people.
Sure.
Right? So the only capital that any business has is the people. The technology that we build, the IP that we build, the products that we build are all consequential, right? So this is the most basic belief that we operate with. The second one is in terms of hiring. We believe any person that we hire is fundamentally capable of doing their job, right?
Okay.
And often a lot of companies, there's no right and wrong. The approach that they take is they either expect the universities or they even expect other companies to get people up to speed, so they can go hire people who can contribute from day one. Right? So this is.
But you don't think that's possible, sir?
No, we don't.
Oh, okay.
We think we are responsible. We don't expect anyone to start contributing from day one.
Interesting.
Because let's face it, it's not fair. So what we believe is, we believe anyone given the right opportunity, the right situation, right challenges, right motivation, should be able to do this job. And we are patient with people, and we believe it is our responsibility to teach and nurture people. So we even take people when they are 16, 17 years old, when they are right out of school.
Okay.
We have a program called Zoho Schools of Learning.
Yes.
So where we teach programming, where we teach business, where we teach design, very contextual learning. And even people we hire out of universities, even people we do lateral hiring, we give them the time. We tell them what our business is. We tell them what our products are, who our customers are.
Okay.
Give them the time to come settle down, right? And that's
Yeah.
how it really works.
Interesting.
So we don't expect people to come and start contributing from day one, as I said. So
You're investing in them.
Yeah,
actually.
we have a long-term thinking when it comes to the company, and the most that we apply to is with the people. And like I joined this company 30 years ago, right out of college.
You did.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
So I lived through this myself.
Ah.
The company was very patient with me.
All right.
That gave me the motivation, that freedom, autonomy to try a lot of things. So this works, especially in our environment where Zoho and ManageEngine operates. So this is how people come. They know they have this long rope. So they know they are capable. So this is like rubbing each other positively, right? So
that's great.
and this belief, this conviction works for us, where we just want people, and we even do not go to the top colleges, or we don't want to be having our offices in the top cities, so to say.
Yeah.
When we are in India, so we didn't want to go to Bangalore. When we are in the US, we were in the Bay Area, but we moved out. Right?
Okay. You don't need to be there. Yeah.
We don't need to be there because there is always fight for talent happening there, right? So
yeah.
we don't want to be in that fight,
Yeah.
right? So we want to be in a model where people want to join us, where we will train them, they understand our model, they understand our long-term thinking, and travel with the company. That's more important than the model where you get a lot of high performers. In a year or two, you are like wanting to hit a lot of breakthroughs. That's a completely different model. It has its own merits.
Okay.
But the model that we follow is this, right? So long-term, deep research and development, right? So these are the values that drive the company, and that applies also in hiring.
Yep. No, it makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
I definitely, before we finish, I'd love to get your thoughts on your advice for other technology leaders, because I think there is a lot of confusion out there these days.
Right.
People are floundering. Technology is changing quickly. Trends, companies. If you're talking to another CEO or a CIO or a CTO, what would you say to them? What's the question they need to be thinking about? May or may not be thinking about now. What's a critical question?
Right. I'll share my thoughts, James. Not really advice, because I believe advice is for a specific context.
Okay.
When I know the person. Yeah, I mean, we are always in the same boat, thinking and pondering about what should we do next. Right? It's not an easy position to be in, but that's the role. That's the job of being in leadership. So, couple of things, right? So, one is the basics, the fundamentals. Always tell our team, understand how our customers are changing, right? So, come to technology after. That is very important.
Customers first.
Customers first.
Right.
Because we exist to serve our customers. That's the only reason we exist. How are they changing, right? So keep talking to them, right? So have a pulse of how are their requirements changing, how their landscape is changing. So once you continue to talk to them, if not directly to the customers, have systems in place internally in the company where you always know the customer's voice. Inside ManageEngine, the customer-facing teams, they share their conversations, their experiences with their customers on a regular basis, on a daily basis. Any conversation where there is some good insight is immediately shared with the team. So we make it a point. The entire team understands how the shift is happening with our customers. And this changes across industries, it changes across regions. The way technology affects could be very specific. That is number one.
Okay.
Number two, you just cannot shy away from like getting your hands dirty, even as leaders. If you can be the CEO, you can be the CIO, CTO.
You mean understanding the technology?
How things work.
Yeah,
Exactly.
right,
Right.
okay.
So keep playing with technology that is
The
available
systems.
today.
Yeah.
Right.
Know the systems.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Know the systems, how things work. That gives you the confidence. That gives you the clarity to talk to your own teams when you talk to your customers. Right. These are a couple of things that you can practice. Right. So basic things, simple things. These are the thoughts that I can share.
Yeah, so always pay attention to the customers and know the systems. I think that they're both critical because I think sometimes people do drift away from the customers as they think
Exactly.
about the new toys.
Right.
And I think sometimes the executives don't always get down and deal with the systems as much as maybe they should.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Be like one among your team, one among your colleagues, right? So
Yes.
the role has its place, but not all the time. But the fundamentals, the basics, they don't change.
Rajesh, I think you said it. Thank you so much for talking with us. I learned a lot and hope we talk again soon.
My pleasure too, James. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.